video we're going to be looking at bearings, because this has been quite a popular topic and I've gotten requests online through comments on YouTube from it, and I've also gotten requests face to face as well. So I'm going to first of all break it down. Okay, so in this video we're just solely going to be focusing on how to measure bearings. Okay, what are bearings and how to measure them. That's the main purpose of this video. So to get started, let's think about bearings. What do they actually mean? Well, they're actually used in navigation. So you've kind of got the idea from there that if they're using navigation, that means it's used for direction. Okay, so it's to calculate direction. Okay, so for example, if you're stuck in a forest somewhere, okay, you might be going hiking and you're stuck and you don't know which direction do you need to turn in order to head back to where you came from. Okay, then in that case bearings can help you. So let's take a look at an actual example. So for example, if we wanted to go from point A, okay, to point B. So, for example, it could be that, you are a red man, okay, waving. Well, I tried to make him wave. So you're here and you want to get to point B. Well, what we can do in that case is we could be heading up north, okay, as follows. We could be heading up north, and then we can turn my trusted yellow pen to east. Okay, so maybe that's not a great color pen, so I'll just go over that in a better color that you can see, hopefully. So so that means that to get from point A to point B, I know I can go up north and then I can go east, okay, to get to my point B. Well, that's a bit long, okay, and to help us get from A to B in a more faster way, what we can be doing, okay, so I'm just going to rub out my red man to draw this line. What I can be doing is using bearings, okay, to get there in a more specific way to calculate the direction. So the three main rules, okay, for bearings are as follows. So I want you to really pay attention to these three rules because they are the main foundation of bearings, and they are the three things that you always need to bear in mind when you're calculating them and working them out. So number one is that you always measure the angle from north, okay? So because it's direction, it means that we're working with angles, and you always got to measure from north, okay? And then the second rule is that it's always going to be measuring the angle clockwise from north, okay? So after I've drawn my north line, which is here, as you can see in purple, I've got to measure clockwise from it, okay, as follows. I cannot go the other way around because that's just not how bearings work. So I've got to always, and this is something that students always forget, which is why they lose marks, even though they've done all the correct working out. Always measure clockwise from north, okay? So if you've got that one right, hopefully you will also remember this one as well, because they are kind of connected. And then the last main thing, which again students tend to remember these two and then forget the last one, is you always write them in 3 digits, okay? For example, if this angle here, just going to assume and estimate that it's 45 degrees. If it's 45 degrees, the bearing, okay, is actually going to be 045 degrees, okay? We can't just write it as 45 degrees. That's just how bearings work, so we've got to just always remember that. So you can take a picture of this, okay, or write it down in your notepad, but these are the 3 main things that we're working with and remembering to take away from this video. Now we're going to head over to looking at some examples of how I can actually measure my bearings, okay, with my protractor. So you are going to need this for this video if you want to have a go at some of the questions, okay? Okay, so we're going to be having a go at the following question, okay? So we're going to be writing down the bearing of B from A in each of the following Okay, so I'm going to have a go at question A, and then I want you to try and pause the video and have a go at B yourselves. Okay, so we're also supposed to give each hand size a 3-finger bearing. This time they've actually told you to remember and write it in 3 figures, but they don't always do that. Okay, so sometimes you do have to remember to do that yourself. Okay, so let's focus on part A. So step 1, what we need to be doing is grabbing a ruler and connecting my points A to B, okay, so that I know where I need to draw my north line and then where I need to measure my angle. So another key part is they've said to write down the bearing of B from A, okay, that's a really key point. So I'm actually going to go ahead and highlight that because that's also where a lot of confusion starts from. So if it's saying B from A, that means that I need to be measuring my angle from A, okay? I'm not going to be doing it from B because it's saying bearing off B, so sometimes people think I need to draw the north line there, but it's always from where it's being measured, okay? So the last part is what we focus on. So I'm going to draw my north line now over here at A. Okay, so this is my north line. I'm going to label it with the N as well. We always tend to label the north line as well. And then, now that I've drawn my north line, remember the next step is I need to measure my angle, okay, in degrees. And I've got to remember to measure it clockwise from here, okay, so in this direction, not in the other way, okay. So measuring clockwise from here, and hopefully we know how to be using a protractor, so I'm not going to go through those rules. Okay, so the angle that I've measured is actually 72 degrees, okay, so that is the angle. And now the final step, remember, if we think back to our 3 steps, is I need to write it as a 3-figure bearing. So it's going to be 0.72 degrees, okay, and that's my final answer. Now, I want you to be having a go at this, okay, think back to, you can rewind and check the steps and have a go at it. And so pause the video here and have a go and then check back with me for the answer. Okay, so the bearing here is 128 degrees, and because it's already a 3-figure angle, I don't need to change anything in my answer. Okay, so I've just gone ahead, drawn the north line from A because I'm measuring the bearing of B from A, remember, and then just measured my angle using my protractor, and that is the answer. Okay, gonna have another go at this question. This is slightly different, okay? It's still that we're measuring the bearing of B from A, so I'm going to just connect my 2 dots here as follows. I'm going to draw my north line from A. I'll show you why it's different, or some of you might be able to spot it straight away. Okay, so a hint is that it's related to the 3 rules that we've been mentioning. Now, if you notice in this, I need to measure my angle. Now, straight away, some people are going to say, oh, it's the same as before, how we've always been doing it, and we just need to measure this one. It's not, because this is anti-clockwise. We've got to measure clockwise, okay, from the north line. So that means it's this big angle outside that we need to measure, okay? So now that is hard to do with the protractor. So the other way that we can do is measure this inside angle, okay? And then what we can do is do 360, subtract this angle, which will give me the big outside one. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to grab my protractor again and have a go at measuring this. Okay, so you can see it is 70 degrees, so I need to do 360 now minus my 70 degrees, okay, which gives me an answer of 290 degrees, okay. And because it's already 3-figure answer, I don't have to write it or do anything else to it, okay. I'm going to leave it as that. So now what I want you to be doing is having a go at this question, okay. It's quite similar. I want you to pause the video here and have a go at this one. Okay, so hopefully you arrived at the following answer, 220 degrees, okay. So I'll just quickly run through what I did. So I connected A to B, okay, with a ruler, and then I drew the north line from A because that's where I'm calculating my bearing from. And then I measured the inside angle, okay, so this one here was 140 degrees, and remember I need the outside one. So what I did was the following: 360 minus 140, which finally gave me 220 degrees. Again, it's 3 figures already, so I don't need to do anything else, and that's my final answer. Okay, so lastly, we're going to just be looking at this quick word problem, okay? So it says that a hot air balloon is on a bearing of 140 degrees from the radar A. The same hot air balloon is on a bearing of 065 degrees from the radar B, okay? Just gonna go ahead, just gonna go ahead and highlight the important bits, okay? So 140 degrees from radar A and a bearing of 065 from the radar B. On a sketch of the diagram below, mark the location of the hot air balloon. Okay, so that means what I need to do is measure the bearing of 140 degrees from the radar A first. Okay, so from the radar A, what I can do is draw my north line. Okay, if you want, you can stop, pause the video and try and see if you can have a go at this yourself. Okay, so I've got the north line here. And it's saying that it's on a bearing of 140 degrees. So that means what I need to do is get my protractor, okay, and measure an angle of 140 degrees from this north line, okay. So what I'm going to do now is just draw my line there, okay. Next, what I need to be doing is finding out the bearing from radar B, which is also which is 065 degrees. So again, I need to draw my north line from B this time as follows, and it is on a bearing of 65 degrees. So I'm going to measure again for my protractor, and 65 degrees is about here. So I'm just going to draw a little X mark again, okay, and then I'm going to connect my two crosses together as follows. And this is what the diagram looks like. So now they've said they actually want to know on the sketch where is the location of the hot air balloon, and they're saying because it's on a bearing 140 from radar A and 65 degrees from radar B, it's actually going to be where they both meet. So that is over here. Okay, so this is where the hot air balloon is actually going to be located. So I'm just going to attempt to draw the hot air balloon here. Okay, so that's where my hot air balloon is, and that is the end of the question. And again, let me know in the comments how you did, how you went on with that question, or if you attempted it, okay? And also let me know of any topics that you want me to do in the future, and I'm more than happy to go ahead and do them. So this brings us to the end of the video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and also subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!